Super coach tabs on my phone at dawn, scrolling through the carnage, what went wrong? Grammar solid steady, rookies on the rise, mid-prices tempting me, danger in disguise. Big J calling from the couch, mate, check your side. Joe bragging about a loophole, riding that tide. We're trading in our hopes like stocks on a screen, chasing that price rise, living the dream. We're the center bounds crew. Hey! Whistle blows, we're riding it through. From goals and behinds to the last upgrade. Greatest game in the world, that's how we're made. From a pig in the guts to the bench from a blues. Every week we're breaking the rules. They fell in our veins, yeah, it's all we do. We're the center bounds crew. Oh, yeah. Got duds on the park, can't win a hard ball. Need a downgrade, target, answer that call. Possessions piling up, my captain's on fire. Vice loop lightning, sparks through the wire. Yeah. Trade plan scribbled on the back of a bill. One more sideways move, I swear I'll sit still. But the siren hits Friday, logic is gone. Mate, just push and go on. Who you backing in, who you backing in? Who you backing in, yeah. Who you letting go? One more risky move, then we steal the show. We're the center bounds crew. Hey! Whistle blows, we're riding it through. From goals and behinds to the last upgrade. Greatest game in the world, that's how we're made. From a pig in the guts to the bench from a blues. Every week we're breaking the rules. They fell in our veins, yeah, it's all we do. We're the center bounds crew. We're the center bounds crew. Oh yeah, the center bounds crew. The center bounds crew. The center bounds crew.
Hey guys, welcome to the Center Bounce on what is this Friday? I guess kind of heading into round 3. Mate, hopefully you guys are having a bloody wonderful day. I am as well. Just finished work, come home, jump on, do a stream for the next, close to an hour and a half. Talk footy, talk shit, talk about life, whatever you want. Thank you very much to the 26 plus people that are watching at the moment, and hopefully we get a few more throughout the day too. Michael, how you going? How you going, Michael? Going against Houston, going Nick Dacos instead. Okay, want to know, look at Houston with Moore and Howe back. Yeah, Lindsay back also helps. Cook went well. Yeah, I'm very, very happy. Nice to have MJ on the show yesterday. We did go my final picks. If we have a look at the team quickly. Where is it? Share screen. Throw it up. We did go Cook, Houston, and Tristan Cherry in. So, unfortunately, my boy Dyson Sharp, I can't believe I just said my boy Dyson Sharp, but unfortunately, Dyson Sharp is not playing. So, we're kind of stuck there a little bit. Would have been nice to even get an extra 10 or 20K out of him. Unfortunately, we can't do that. But, yeah, so holding on Houston just for right now. But I fingers crossed, right? Fingers crossed we'll be okay. This is the type of picks that I didn't want to do in my team. I had Ash to begin with, but we've decided on it. We've gone the MJ pick, gave us a big spiel about why we should get Houston in, and, you know, was happy with the Cook pick. Though, if you check out the old footyscores.net with Braden Cook, Adelaide did really well. I thought that they were going to win the game at certain points. Geelong obviously squandered a lot of points. Worrell did well. Rochelle, congratulations if you had him. But our boy, Braden Cook, actually went backwards in terms of Supercoach scoring in the fourth quarter. So, yeah, a little bit rough for him there, but should make us a bit of money. Yeah, nice for us to know that Chase Jones probably isn't a pick, because I think his game last week was good. And then ye old Tanner Bruin, bit of a rough one. The cash gen is somewhat stalled now that he hasn't scored well. And you know, if you're one of the few people that have Bailey Smith in your team, Holmes or Tom Stewart, you'd be very, very happy. You won 2 or 3 of those. I know some people brought Holmes and Stewart in yesterday, so cheeky 240 from those 2 players. You're doing pretty well. We'll check out the team lineups as well, to see who's been named, but let's jump into some questions. Zorko or Ash? Now, the reason why I'm not going Ash could be the reason why you go Zorko. Like, Ash has already gone up in price once, which is, you know, it's fine. It happened. But Ash has a bye next week. Zorko has the role. He has the capacity. He hasn't gone up in price either. So using those kind of things, I think both will probably be top 6 in their line. Zorko's a little bit cheaper, and Ash has the bye. And I hate to bring in players and then come in and say, hey, the bye's coming like the following week. So, yeah, it's really rough for me. I personally wouldn't do it, and I think maybe you shouldn't do it either. Bo Allen or Watkins? Well, Bo Allen's a bit more expensive. Bo Allen comes in at about 150K. Watkins comes in at 99K. And if we have a sneaky look, a good segue there to the game on Sunday. Yeah, good segue there to the game on Sunday. Watkins is named. So I don't mind the Watkins, to be honest. Bo Allen, I think, will do fine. But I think the 99K of a Watkins kind of makes up for what potentially might be his downside. And yes, there is no Ollie Wines, but they obviously like him for a reason. And I think a Will Brodie may get dropped before a Watkins would get dropped. So I can't do it this week, but there is a world where I boost and get Jack Watkins in next week, depending on if Sherry does well or not again. I can go 1 up, 1 down. So I can just go straight to Bontempelli next week off a sharp. I'm very, very close to the money or have enough money. So it is coming down to what I do with like a Watkins. Do I get him into my team? What's going to happen there? He could be a boost for Watkins. And then I have, like 30, 33 trades and enough money and 3 boosts left to finish off the team. So I think the cash gen is really important right now. A lot of us at the moment, no Sharp. ZZ's not playing. Murdoch potentially out for a while. We don't know what's going to happen with backline players and stuff. So a lot of things can change at different points. And unfortunately, Josh Lindsay's not even on the bye this week. So not even on the bubble this week due to missing next week. So due to missing last week. So, yeah, it's making things a little bit tough. Might as well just look at the team sheets before I go into more questions. Guys, if you have any questions, let me know. I'm happy to answer anything. And we'll see if Joe jumps on or not. The stream's there waiting for him if he's finishing up with work early enough. So Thursday, we tipped Geelong. Fantastic. Friday, no real late changes in the teams. So that's great for us as well. Heading over to Saturday's games, no major changes either. Unfortunately, ZZ's unnamed, but there is some talk that he is the travelling emergency. So fingers crossed something happens because he's not playing VFL that day. So maybe someone doesn't get up. Dockers versus Richmond, no major changes either. It is good. Excuse me. Luke Jackson and Darcy versus Gray and McKelty Lafau. So I think it's going to be a bit of a stomping. North versus Adelaide. The only change that has happened at the moment is Archer May coming in. And unfortunately, I don't think we can actually stop this back line. Aiden Core, I don't trust what he's going to do. Nice to get George Wardlaw back, but Georgie Boy's going to be on limited minutes. So how much is he going to play? And I can totally see a world, not to jinx it, but I can see a world where Wright, Langford, Caddy, and May, look how tall. That's like 490 plus players there. I can 100% see a world where they just run straight over us just due to their tall players. So, yeah, fingers crossed. We have to play a really strong game because it might be, like 10 games in a row if we lose this weekend. A bit rough. Heading over to Sunday games, Josh Lai, Brodie, Lockie Jones named, Rosie, Bergman, and Marshall out. Obviously, Marshall with the ankle injury. Hopefully, it's only 1 to 2 weeks. Fingers crossed. Lindsay's back. Schoenberg's back. Edwards and Milan Murdoch's out. And Harry Schoenberg first game. I don't know what he's going to do, but if you go and remember how well he played in the preseason games, we'll see there. Last game of the day. Last game for the day. Francis Evans, Taylor Byrne in for Carlton. Fogarty, Cooper Lord out for Carlton. Taylor Byrne is new. McDonald, Paddy Cross, who is another SSP signing, if my sources are correct. So, forward 99k SSP. I don't think we're going to see much from him, to be honest. Apparently was a Melbourne fan growing up. Looks like a couple of suspect other players. Looks a bit like Declan Mountford, if you guys ever remember him. Used to play for North Melbourne. Looks kind of like him. So we'll see what happens there. But yeah, medium-sized forward. Fantastic. Melbourne need a few more of them. Nice for him to play and get his shot against Carlton. So yeah, very, very tricky game. Let's check out some more comments. Michael, how you going? Michael, something's wrong with the world. I have 23 playing. Bro, yeah. Fantastic to have 23 playing. The AFL hates the Crows and I tell you what, every year there is something that just happens to Adelaide. You know, we all know about that game. I think it was versus Sydney to make the final series a couple of years ago. Now they've stuffed up again. Then they stuff up again and again and again. And, you know, someone's paid off the local Geelong umpires so they make poor decisions and cost them wins. And, yeah, it's rough. G-Bags, how you going, G-Bags? Who do I prioritize this week? Decam to LJ, Sharp to Dersma. Can only do one. Look, I'm not a fan of Willem Dersma. I think Willem Dersma will be okay. But if I had the choice between the two, who is playing nobody in the ruck line? G-Bags? Who the fuck is Campbell Gray? I'm sorry for swearing, but who the fuck is Campbell Gray? My Kelty's not going to shine his shoes. Like, I would be going Jackson because Jackson's going to go up in price. I wonder if you can even make money. How much is Dick? So Jackson is 6'11". Okay, so you're spending 10K, right? But I think Jackson is a fantastic selection. I don't believe he'll get DPP. Just from the way that if you watch the DPP video, he wasn't set for it. But 100%, yeah, you got to go Lukey Jackson instead. I think you can wait on Dersma. Well, not wait on Dersma, but if we have a look at Willem Dersma, can't afford an A for his name or whatever it is, the joke. Negative 49 break even, so it's not even that low. Has gone okay at about an 80 average. But even Supercoach projections, maybe he comes up and he's scoring like, maybe in the perfect world, he gets to 350K. Maybe. I think it's going to be a little bit rough, and I'd rather go the 600K player that's probably going to jump up even further. So we check out Jackson. So in my team, because I've got English, McAndrew, and Cherry, I need to wait for McAndrew to actually make money or make enough money for me to go to Jackson. There was potential for me to get him in this week, but I just can't now. And I think it's going to hurt too much. Potentially holding McAndrew, but this week, Jacko's going to go up in price. Let me see if they've done any projections for him. He's going to go up in price. He's versing McAndrew next week. He's versing Decam. And he's versing Flynn, who Cherry just dropped a 199 on his head. I think the run's very good. And for midfielders playing as well, I think the run's fantastic. So I would go Jackson 100%. Already have most of the relevant rookies and mid prices. Cool. Only concerns on my team are Lindsay, Lombard, and Bruin. Yeah, Lombard's a bit of a weird one. I have a feeling we may be looking to offload Lombard next week. We'll see what's up. It could be Lombard to Sherry very easily. Jake Rogers has come in and taken a bit of that role. And Lombard, as much as I love him as a player, obviously his dad's pretty famous, feels like he has a lot to go and has to take a big jump to get into the AFL. Maybe it's coming off injuries. Maybe it's doing whatever he needs to do. But yeah, I could totally see a world where post-bye Lombard is dropped back to the VFL. Someone else comes in. See you later, mate. You made us like 30K. And at the very least for that, we grab someone like Sherry, who's going to jump up in price the following week. So maybe that's the way to go. Yeah, Parrish is out in a few weeks. Done. Chris, how you going, Chris? Do you think Ryan Myers will be top 6? If we're talking about forward line, how did he score this week? We can be a bit cheeky. Ryan Myers, 113. Okay. How did he score in the last couple of games? So he's 508K. He's actually going to go up in price, which is fantastic. And then what is that? Adding on a 113. Look, I can see a world where Ryan Myers is. Our forward line are typically, if you watch my DPP video, our forward line is going to be stacked this year full of midfielders who are resting forward. Sheasel, hopefully Flanders, Petrarca when he comes back, Horn Francis, Tuke Miller's in there as well, potentially a Chad Warner. But Myers, for someone who's not a key forward or not a midfielder per se, I see a world where he could be a top 6, maybe top 7 or 8, depending on who's really available. So who knows? I think there's definitely potential there, Chris. Wayne Miller, the fraud you are. There you go. Yeah, he's I told people don't get him. I said, hey, Wayne Miller, wait for his scores. Round 1, massive score, but he's never really been in our calculations. Worrell has put it up again and again and again. And yes, ankle injuries kept him to under 100 points this week, but he was pretty darn close at 97 points. And yeah, Wayne Miller, our post, it's probably the biggest fall from grace in the AFL. Miller, did I not spell it right? Wayne Miller, let's have a bit of a squeeze. 142, round 1, 61 against the Doggies, and then now a 57. So yeah, hopefully you guys that brought him in round 2 made a little bit of money, I guess, from him. But yeah, I don't think he's close to keeper status, and I didn't think he would be close to keeper status. So there you go. Big J got you in FTTV too. Cool. Ayuns, how you going, mate? Holding track this week, not much I like for 550K. Got Houston already. Yeah, I mean, there's a world, and it really depends on your team, but there's a world where you do that, and you just hold Petrarca, and you say, cool, no worries. 3 or 4 weeks, potentially he's back, or 5 or 6, depending on how well they go. But, yeah, maybe you want to grab someone else. If I had the money and you had, like, 60K plus the 50K, someone like Holmes would have been fantastic for you this week. So it is what it is, as we say. Yeah, well, I hope so, Michael, because North Melbourne, we give up leads to you guys. I can see the same thing happening to Essendon. So, yeah. Don't know about Rivers being dropped over a few others. Did Rivers get dropped? Huh. Oh, yeah, there you go. There you go. Trent Rivers got dropped. Didn't even notice there, Air Tommy. Look, I don't know if it's a team makeup type situation. I mean, how many tackles has he been averaging? Footy info. We'll have a quick squeeze. Melbourne, Trent Rivers. If you guys haven't used Footy Info, it is the OG website. Doesn't have some stuff that the other ones do, but it has really good features, like you can go through and actually look at the stats from each game, previous scoring statistics and things like that. So Trent Rivers, games for this year, hasn't really been doing that well. Round 1, 16 disposals, round 2, 21. So it's a little bit better. They must have tick marked it quite a lot. And tackles, behinds, okay. Maybe it's just not impacting as much as they want. I don't think it's like a meters gained / the game is too quick for him type situation. Let's just have a squiz of how Melbourne did last week. How did Trent Rivers go? Oh, that's not even the right team. Cool. So, yeah. Like, good enough game potentially on paper, but maybe he just needs a break, or maybe he pulled up a bit sore, or something happened, and yeah, just not the greatest game. But that's why I didn't start him, I guess. Tanner Bruin was named against Richmond, then okay. My pod Rochelle, how you going, Daniel? Averaging more than Flanders after 3 games. Yep. He has done very well. Rochelle, I wasn't sure what was going to happen with Rankin and a few other players back, but he has definitely come in and taken over that position. Really does need the big goals to go big, but if that's the role that he's playing, that's the role that he's playing. Sorry, my mistake. He doesn't need the big goals, but maybe he got a few score assists. I can't actually see it here. Let's have a quick squeeze. Contested marks, score involvements. There you go. So fantastic tackling, score involvements is the way to go. Seems to be the part where a lot of players are getting points, and Ed Richards, for example, when he doesn't get the score involvements, doesn't do well. So these kind of guys, alongside a Murphy Reed, who are probably getting close to DPP, sneaky picks at that 370, 390K mark. Very, very good there, mate. Great selection, Daniel. Beard Dream, how you going, mate? Glad to see you have come to your senses, mate, and bought in Big X. Yep. I hope North gets done. Yeah, I hope so too, Brody. I hope so too. Yeah. Bontempelli's in next week as well. I think it's just what's kind of shown me this start of the season is just how important these high ceiling players are. They just look so incredibly good. And, Bontempelli 2 weeks ago, 160, was like Ed Richards plus another player on field scoring Bontempelli scores. So, yeah, it is a bit rough. Another one who's a bit rough is Joe. How you going, Joe? Nice to see you.
Hey, just got in the car, leaving work now. Hope you all doing well. Massive thank you to MJ for covering for me yesterday. Really appreciate it. Might need someone else to cover for me on Thursday coming up as well. But yeah, it's just been very busy, very hectic for me at the moment. I was literally the only lawyer in the office the last 3 days, so it's been a little bit crazy, and I don't know why this lady has decided to come and stop next to me blocking my view, which is wonderful.
There you go. Yeah.
How you doing, mate? How are you doing, mate? You doing well?
Yeah, doing well. Just a bit tired after work, but glad the weekend's here, and I'm hopefully being able to get a sleep in tomorrow, which will be good. But yeah, just talking Supercoach, talking football. Yeah, life's all right, I've got Tristan Cherry in my team. What else can I be complaining about when I can go basically Dyson Sharp to Bontempelli next week, Joe?
How good is that? Yeah,
like don't even need to get rid of other dead players. It's just one rookie to the Bont. So yeah, it's we can do a lot worse, I think.
I've held on to Sharp. I know it's
me too.
I've held on to him, and I'm not going to trade him out next week. I think he'll just come back straight into the team. I think he's just missing the 1 week, and because clearly he was touch and go if he was named to start with. So I'm happy to keep him to be making money. I'll definitely be punting Darcy Parish next week to get to the Bont. I think this week, I don't know, I've just been so confused with what I want to do. Like, I didn't want to hold 600K in the bank.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I just losing 2 premiums this week to not keep the upgrading. I have been convinced by MJ. MJ can sell ice to an Eskimo. Of that, I'm pretty convinced. So
is that good?
MJ is that good. He can sell poison to a snake. I don't know what he can. He's amazing. So I'm all aboard the Dan Houston train at the moment.
Yeah,
I have gone Rosie to Houston, and I've also done a cheeky thing of Petrarca to Zorko.
okay. So you've gone double
I
back
think
this week.
I've gone double back. I've just gone for cheapy double backs who could potentially be top of line. Brisbane's run for the next few weeks, if you look at it, is
Pretty
quite
good.
piss weak. It's pretty good. So, and Zorko hasn't had a price rise just yet. He's still the man clearly back there. So I know he's old. That's probably the only downside to him. But he's come off his bye. He's probably well rested now. And I'm pretty confident that he's going to be top 6 again. So I think I've gotten 2 pretty damn good performers at their price points. And then next week it'll definitely be a Parish to a Bond. The only question is necessarily how I do it, whether it's using Xavier Lindsay and Buderick. But I think Buderick I'm likely to keep. But I definitely want to get the Bond in next week. Would be the dream before he plays against the Bombers and goes bananas. Alternatively, I might want to maybe not spend that much and potentially look at a Max Holmes, who I was considering this week. But he showed his goods. So I like Max Holmes. He seems to be the goods. And it's also a question of having to future plan my trades, because I do want to get Dacos in. And it's just a question of when I'm going to get Dacos in. And then obviously if I get the bot next week, that's great. But if I decide not to get the bot next week, then when am I going to do that? So I'm still trying to future plan my trades. It's a bit difficult, and I've just been so busy, both at work and out of work, and I'm going to be again busy next week as well. So it's a little bit tight, but
Easter, bro. That's it.
See how we
Easter.
go.
Yeah.
That's it, Keen as a bean.
Yeah. Ayuns, I want to get Zorko or Ash because being cooked. Yep. There you go. I would get Zorko this week. We spoke about it before, Joe. I don't know if you're watching, but Ash has the bye, Zorko no bye. So, yeah, that's kind of my thinking. King playing the early ones, making an early stand. There you go. Got to blood a lot of these players at Melbourne, I think. Get them up to speed and get them playing, because I think too much reliance on Oliver and Petrarca has kind of put them in a bit of a hole. So if they can get rid of some of the guys who maybe aren't going to be there for a while or aren't performing, the older players, and you've got the good young players coming in. I mean, no one's expecting Melbourne to play finals this year, right, Joe?
No. They're definitely not playing finals.
Yeah. Fair enough. Pretty happy with Holmes 120. There you go, Tatum's. And I wish I had him, because if I look at my team, I've got Anderson doing nothing, and I've got Ed Richards doing nothing. So if one of those guys was Max Holmes, I'd be happy. Unfortunately, I would have had too many round 3 players. Sorry, too many round 2 players. So me going Sam Walsh over Max Holmes has actually hurt me a little bit, I think. If I could turn back time, but we'll see. I probably would have.
Hindsight is 2020, man.
Well, that's it, man. The whole season, eh? Tanner Bruin broke his nose early, impacted his game. Yeah, definitely. I mean, if we look at his score, Tanner Bruin obviously didn't score that well, but broken nose and whatnot. He's not going to be a keeper for the year as much as I think we would have loved him to be. Hopefully even just plays next week, to be honest. 64% game time for the 47 isn't great. but how much of that was impacted and impeded too. So,
and the annoying thing is that he's not going to get DPP either, which is the annoying thing on top of all of that.
Yeah, it's not great. I think from memory too, some people were saying he was pushed up quite far along the ground too. So maybe he played a little bit more forward than what we expected him to do, or he has done in the past, which might have affected him a little bit. Rochelle under 400k could still be a good pick. Him, Murphy, Reed, possible Nick Watson next week. Fair enough. How am I gone, Big J? Confident on beating Essendon, Joe? I laid down the gauntlet, mate. I reckon your tall forwards are going to give North Melbourne a bit of trouble this week. Archer May's in, no Sharp. Langford always ends up kicking like 6 somehow, man, and you've got 4 tall forwards. So, yeah, it's going to be...
Not this year. He'll be lucky to kick 6 goals for the whole season the way he's going at the moment, Langford.
That double his score count against North Melbourne. We'll see.
Nah, you'll win. You'll win. You should win. On paper, you're the better team. On form, you're the better team. You should win.
Yeah, I hope so. Aiden, how you going? Aiden, C Sharp is out now. We're still worried about Watkins getting dropped next week. Well, if he's not, there is 100% a world where I just go Sharp to Watkins. Depending on what Watkins' break even will be next week, I'm more than happy to grab him if he's still got a negative 80 break even or something stupid. He's playing Richmond. He'll be locked into the team at that point, and I can see a world where he plays and the likes of Will Brodie doesn't. So, yeah, 100%. It's somewhat in my plans at the moment to make it happen. So I'm just waiting to see what happens, really. Do you think do you think, Joe, Eagles versus Port Adelaide, is there any chance? I'm kind of thinking if it was in WA, there'd be a fair shout, but at home against Adelaide, what do you reckon against Port in Adelaide?
I reckon they're every chance. There's quite a few injuries at Port at the moment. Mm-hmm. The only, and I think I would absolutely tip West Coast if they were playing at Optus, but only because they're playing away, and they've come off a stirring win. The difficulty for a young team, and you would have seen it yourself, Jez, with North Melbourne. You get that emotional win, you're on that emotional high. You don't. A young team very regularly can't follow up on that and carry that positive emotion into next week. They're too happy about that win that they don't put in that grittiness. They're comfortable. They've achieved something, and they tend to rest a bit more on their laurels. They're not as sharp as they were when they were fighting tooth and nail for that win. I'd be very amazed if West Coast were able to do that away from home, to carry on that form, to carry on that fight against Port. I reckon they're a chance, but I don't think I'm courageous enough to tip them.
Yeah, no, me too. I think they're a fair chance. I think, probably without Todd Marshall in there, it affects it a little bit, but West Coast's key forwards and their tall players, when they're up and about, they do really well. So it might not be the smashing that we're kind of expecting, especially with no Connor Rosie in the team as well. So, yeah, we'll see how we go. There you go. As a lawyer, Joe, Michael's saying he thought you should have had a driver instead of having to drive yourself. Maybe next year
I'm
we'll get famous.
Not a politician, not a prime minister who can milk his people. Unfortunately, it's if anything, I'm concerned. My tank's a bit low, and I have to fill up fuel. So I'm worried, man, that I won't be able to pay for this bloody fuel tank.
Donate to Joe's petrol tank, guys.
No, don't do that. Don't do that.
Get petrol tank money. Shout out to Joe's law firm. Do you want to plug the law firm, Joe, or we keep it a secret?
Are you guys going to be bad if I say the name.
Maybe not. Maybe not.
You guys are going to inundate us with fake inquiries just to, and they're going to be like, how could you have done this?
Super coach inquiries. It's like, hey, what would you do in this situation?
Yeah, I know, right? If you want to know where I work, because you have a genuine inquiry for your family law / will matter, you can message us privately. Message us privately on Facebook, please. Yes.
That's it. Anyone without Sherry this week could be in a lot. Could lose a lot of ground. Hopefully, Zorko has a great run. Michael's trying to bag him out, saying Zorko Hammy's coming.
No.
I've had Jackson from the start. Jackson, Cherry, Bont, Dacos, Cook, all the main rookies. This guy, Jackson Kurjo, all of the carnage, and he's only had to spend one trade so far. Oh,
that's so good. I'm very happy for you, Jackson. May the odds always remain in your favor.
Yep. Yeah, I might have to spend like 6, and I guess that's kind of the difference too, eh? If you don't have too many round 0 players, you've got all the good rookies. I mean, I tried to nail all the rookies, barring like a Murdoch, who, it's hard to pick him anyway, or hard to not have had him. Yeah, very nice there, Jackson. Hopefully it works out well for you, mate. What's your prediction for Nick Dacos this week, Joe, with no Bedford tag?
Good question. Just Tatum. Good question, Tatum, as always. Coming off a bye, I don't know how he's going to go. Meanwhile, the Giants are reeling after a disappointing loss to the Saints. So they're going to have their fire. They might try and really make it a contested ball and really try to hurt Nick with some real physicality. I think Collingwood are going to try to get it on the outside as much as possible. I don't know. It's hard to bet against Nick. I reckon he'll go 115.
Yeah, fair enough. Where is he? Jackson. Aiden Staff is asking, what's your rank? So chucking your rank in the chat. Going through.
Please.
Please. From round 5 onwards, the men will be sorted from the boys. I think so as well. And the people who are jumping on the good price rises, I think, are going to do very, very well. Best 18 hides all holes. Or, in my case, best 18 causes more holes. Because I've had 18 plus players every week so far. And because I didn't pre-plan the early buys as much, I'm way behind the pack. Even Joe as well. So, yeah, it can be a liability.
That is throwing me under the bus. Throwing me under the bus there. Jeez, throw me under the bus.
Well, you're not rank 1. You're not rank 1.
No, I'm not.
Yeah, I mean, Cherry's 199 definitely helped last week, but yeah, it's. I think as always, at least for the last couple of years, the people who've planned through the early buys the best are the ones that have done the best. And picked players scoring 110 plus instead of 95s definitely helps for the price. Taylor Byrne likely to hold his spot over Fogarty. Darcy Fogarty?
You should.
Happy Knack of kicking goals. There we go. Yeah, I know we were talking about him a little bit. Talking about a little bit about him in the preseason, Joe. Hey.
Yeah, I like him. I like him. He looks good. He knows how to find the sticks. He's clean. I like him a lot. I think, I think he'll definitely stick in the team, and I will be trading the guy in when he's on the bubble for sure. I think.
How much is he? Is he 119?
Yeah, he's a low price. Yep.
Yeah, although 113, but does have the DPP, which works out quite nice. I wonder who I'd get rid of him to bring him into my team. Maybe like a Carroll in a couple of weeks potentially, or a Philippou in a couple of weeks. Yeah, not sure.
Yeah, I'll be dropping. I think Lombard's going to be in my trade plans.
He could go next week for me. See. maybe like one of our defenders once DPP comes in for the likes of Blamires and stuff. We might get rid of some of the defenders and chuck in some more of these type of players. We'll see. Frank, how you going, Frank? Bought in Houston and Cook this week. Should I bring Joe? Thoughts on spending a boost for going Watkins to Parrish this week? Sorry, the other way around. Parrish to Watkins.
Yeah, Watkins should make more money than Parrish this week, considering one's a 99k rookie and the other one's a 300 mid 300k type of player. So his break-even will certainly be lower, and I think you'll get probably comparable scoring. So you know what? Freaking get rid of that spud. Get rid of that spud, Parrish, and be happy.
Do it, Frank. Do it for the 200 plus K in the bank. It could help you get Bontempelli or another big primo next week. Potentially even like a Tanner Bruin up in a couple of weeks to someone who's decent. So yeah, works out nice.
He's my big call. Watkins will outscore Parrish this week. Watkins will outscore Parrish this week.
Yep. Oh, maybe I'll do up a picture for it. Thoughts on bringing Gawn in? I don't know. If you're set on the Gawn master, what do you think of Gawn, Joe? Maybe
Gawn, he is the GOAT.
Yeah. It might, for me, it probably depends on the other rucks that you've got. Jackson's got a decent run coming up. Cherry's definitely still got a decent run coming up. You probably play to the fixtures a little bit, and Gawn still is number one. He's probably good for a 125 every week, but he is very much expensive compared to a Jackson, who's playing no one this week. So that would be my only concern.
That's if he plays.
That's if he plays.
That's if he plays. There's a freaking, isn't there a massive cyclone going to hit?
Yeah. I don't think it's been called off. So, Flash is saying here, take the opposite to what Joe says with Gawn.
100%. Gawn and I are oil and water. I'm extra virgin olive oil. I'm very extra virgin. He is water for sure. He is pure as they come, Maxi Gawn. But if you don't have Tristan Sherry this week playing against Lockie Blackiston, just make sure that you don't have the internet on at home on Saturday night.
Yep. Yeah, no, fair. I think it'd be a good stepping stone. Yeah, Taylor Byrne looks great. The 80 from Cook is awesome. Gives him some cash gen, great boost, locked in. Yeah, he should have scored more because he was on about 75 at three-quarter time. So he should have definitely scored a lot more than what he scored. All the potential was there. For
McAndrew as well, man. McAndrew got robbed, man. McAndrew had these Adelaide players had all their points. Yeah, these Adelaide players had their points taken off them so they can give it to freaking Bailey Sniff.
Yep. Yeah, that's it, man. That's it. It's a rough time for him, and yeah, not great. So McAndrew cash gen in the bin a little bit, but not terribly, but a little bit for us. Is there an account now? Maybe Joe can have a go at doing a video for it when he gets back home. I don't have it currently on my screen, but I think there's an extension you can look. So it's like, what's the extension called, Joe? Is it like Super Coach Predictor or something? Remember what the extension was? There's an extension that you can download on Google Chrome that actually opens up, like if I look at a player, that actually opens up this, and you can put in predictions. So I'll just quickly message the Discord 1 sec.
I think it was SC Projector. If you Google SC Projector in the extension, I think that's the one.
Maybe it's not there. Maybe that I'm looking.
I know I shared it in the other stream. I forgot which one it was. I shared it recently. SC Projector. I think it might have been.
Yeah, we'll have a look. We'll try and find it, and we'll put it up on the stream on Monday for you, so we don't waste too much stuff. Is Baz a target for next week? I mean, Baz is a target anytime. We've always talked about Geelong players being great post second buy, but if they're pumping out 170s and 120s pretty strong now, I think you can throw them into the team. So, yeah, it's I think it's pretty worth it. Good luck this week. Thanks, Cameron. Field Watkins or Blamires this week, Joe? Probably Watkins, right? Playing against West Coast.
Wow, you got a deep bench. You got a deep midfield if you can't field both of them.
That's true too. Yeah.
Can you loop between them? Surely you've got a player who's not playing this week. Like if you've got Sharp, if you have Sharp still, you could just. I think West Coast play before. No, they don't. They play after. No, you can't use Sharp because Sharp plays against Blamires.
Yeah. So it's called SC Projector, guys. If you haven't already, a few people in the chat talking about SC Projector. Thank you very much. You just go Google Store, SC Projector, add it to Chrome, add the extension. Hopefully it's not going to stuff up my stuff, but if I do this and refresh, it should be able to tell me. Let's not trade. No, let's not trade Dan Houston. Should be able to tell us what a player scores and their price rises. There you go. So all you need to do is you just put in, hey, let's pick someone who's on the bubble. Let's pick Blamires, for example. Where you can go to Blamires and say, against Essendon, it records his break-even. How much is Blamires going to score this week, Joe? Well, what's the prediction?
71.
All right. So if Blamires goes 71, and then we project, cool. So he's going to jump from 99 to 169. And then you can put in your projections against all the teams and it will actually calculate it as it goes. So it's really good. Whoever was asking for the projector. And you can just play around and do it with any players too. So it's more about what you think that the player is going to score than anything else. Would you trade Blackiston to Cherry and move ZZ back or ZZ straight to Cherry? It would mean I'd have to play McAndrew at R3. Look, I spoke with MJ about this yesterday, and I think that you want to keep McAndrew on field for as long as you can. Given how poorly our rookies are scoring at the moment, getting someone who's probably close to guaranteed for a 70, 80 score every week is worth it over other players. So I wouldn't. I think Blackiston going up to Cherry is a real good stuff you to Blackiston, and you're going to love the fact that Cherry's going to dunk on his head this week. But I think ZZ has a fair chance to come back. He's named as emergency, so he hasn't just disappeared forever. Still has a lot of money to make. The DPP's nice as well. And I think keep McAndrew on field for as long as you can, because I think his scoring is going to score well. Bringing in Cherry and Ash this week, despite the bye, nice Aussie abroad. I think there's peace knowing I have Butters, Bont, Dacos, Sinclair, and Ash. Yes. And that was my concern with Houston this week. If I wasn't trying to go directly to Bont, I mean, in 2 hours, we're not going to care anyway, but it was just a bit of a case of I'm locking in guys who I know are guaranteed to be top in their position versus bringing in someone that could do it, but I'm a bit 50-50 on. So, yeah, we'll see if it burns me or not, but I love kind of the theory behind that. Thanks to Jackson, who didn't start. There you go. Already traded out Rosie Track to Stewart and Dersma. Cool. Sharp to Watkins. Look, I think Watkins is going to be fantastic, and I think he's going to make us 200K. I have to jump on him a week late, but I think he's still going to make us 200K. And I really comes down to, in my head, and for yourself, have you used the boost already? If you're in a position where you haven't used any boosts yet, spend the one boost. I think you're going to make up for it. The money will go very quickly, and you're only making 50K, but it's nice to have 500K in the bank instead of 440, given like the ability to change players around. I mean, it could be 2 primos in your team next week for like a Tanner Bruin or a Budarick or somebody up to a Bontempelli or a big player. So I don't know how much cash Sharp's going to make. He'll do okay, but the fact that he's not named this week, like injuries aside, you want to jump on the cash gen that's available versus hoping that cash gen will come later. And I think Watkins is just an immense value considering he's named at the moment. So, yeah, another spend a boost to get Watkins in, depending on how many you've got. Hey, guys. So the roof is going to be open for tonight's game and tomorrow. Got VC on Nick Dacos, thinking Sinclair or Zorko tomorrow. C on Cherry. Well, Beard, Dream. I know with the community team, and I think you're doing it as well, Joe, going to go Cherry into Zach Butters. So
Correct.
Yeah, I think a bunch of the community is going to do that. I think that's probably the safest bet. Sinclair will do well. Zorko will do well. Dacos probably will do well as well, but I'm not as certain. So I'd rather just go, given my Zachy Butters 97 in round 1, and then Sheasel's 120s, I'm starting to just go a bit more, yes, these picks are good, versus hoping for a big score. So, yeah, maybe hopefully that helps a little bit, mate. Who should I get, Joe? I've got one trade, Clark, Zorko, or Houston.
If I had to rate them in order, it's probably that order.
Yeah.
I think Zorko's a better scorer than Houston, but he's more expensive.
He's probably a better scorer than Clark.
Maybe, but he's also more injury prone than Clark too. So I think Clark's probably safe to be top 6. Zorko, I think, if he doesn't get injured, is also safe to be top 6. Houston probably isn't top 6, but he is value at that price, and he can make you some money, and then you might want to flip him to a Nazaya.
Yep.
But I think if you just fork up the extra bit to get a Zorko, he probably could outscore the both of them, especially in the short term with their run so easy at this point. They're all very good. They're all very good options. What can that money saved with Houston do for you? So I think with Houston, you're picking him for the value because you want that money. What are you going to do with that money? If that money allows you to go Bond next week, whereas getting Clark does not allow you to get Bond next week, then go Houston.
There you go. Yeah, got that. There you go. Lombard to Sherry, 100%. Will Brody take a lot of... Look, I don't think Will Brody will take anyone's points, to be honest. I don't think he's quick enough. It really comes down to how contested the game is. He should tackle quite a lot, but I think Watkins will be okay. Talks Brody, boost Sharp to Watkins. Depending on what your team's like, I think it's okay. You just have to take into effect how many trades you've already spent. Like looking at my team now, if I'm almost having to force Carroll to Bontempelli so I can go Sharp to sharp to like a Watkins next week. So am I certain on the selection? Not so sure, but we'll see what's up. Tossing up between Sherry in flex or Holmes in. Already had 2 rucks, went Holmes. Bro, you can't complain about a 120, though. Holmes looks fantastic. I'm not even going to read it. Callum, I know what you put down.
Very good.
There's no cherry under 120s. Sorry, mate. Is this Thursday weird? I had the wildest dream that Joe turned into MJ for a stream. There you go.
I wish. I'd love to have hair that slick. Nah, alas, that did not happen. I'm glad to see you dreaming about me though, Flash. That's kind of crazy.
Poet, if you can find the promo for North Melbourne versus Essendon, let me know. Would love to see it. I know they've done like the match preview and stuff, but if we show it, we'll get demonetized. So I've got Houston in, but do you think I should switch to Cherry? Doesn't mean I will be stuck with McAndrew on bench. Yeah, I think you just have to cop it, to be honest. There's a world where you can, but I think you just have to cop it and say, okay, Jackson hasn't trained this week at all, so that there's something definitely there. But it hurts too much to run McAndrew at flex right at the moment. Unless you've started McAndrew at flex and gone like triple ruck, I think it's too hard to keep him there at the moment. Only scored 60 on against Geelong. Yeah, Joe was talking about it, yeah. So McAndrew did score the 92 AFL Fantasy. I think it was just disposal efficiency that killed him a little bit. What were you saying, Joe, in the game that like McAndrew just got dumpstered on, or what happened?
Man, the guy he's only had 3 turnovers for the whole game, and I honestly reckon the guy's been underscored. I don't normally make this type of claims, but it just feels like to me that the guy just lost a lot of points of scaling, and they were just buffing up Bailey Smith. Like Bailey Smith had a good game. Don't get me wrong. He had a good game, but not 170 worthy. Like that was ridiculous. I think same thing with Cook. Felt like these guys just did not get the full points that they were supposed to because of scaling, which is unfortunate for them. And I thought he looked all right, to be honest. I think he had problems at the end of the game because he was getting out-muscled by Shannon Neal, who is a big boy.
Yeah.
But I think, there was a bit of a double team, sort of how with Blackiston late in the game, the guy was getting tired out. And that is a concern, though, to be honest. If he's getting tired rucking against the Cats, who aren't really known for their rucks, I can see a world where Rob is brought back because they started to ruck using Finbar mainly at the end of the fourth quarter.
Well, he was brought in as the second ruck regardless, yeah. So he was always going to be second ruck, and he's in the team because they got rid of Burgess, who was second ruck. Yeah. So I think that was always going to happen, kind of break glass situation. But maybe Rob's back. We'll see what's up. We'll change a lot of people's teams, Joe. Tell you what, Rob comes back, and hey, how you going?
I won't mind. I've got two rucks now, so I don't mind.
Me too. Round 5, Rob. Hey, how you going? What do you think about Jackson into Butters, Joe, this week?
Yeah, Butters is a very safe captain, I think. So you just want someone who's going to go bananas, and Jackson's rucking against nobody. He's rucking against a VFL player. So Jackson should go bananas if things go as planned. So I don't mind that. If you don't have Tristan Sherry, you've got Jackson instead. Jackson's a fine VC.
Yeah, no, I think so too. Jackson didn't trade all week. Murphy Reid for Buderick. I do not mind that at all. I think it's going to be great for you. I think Murphy Reed's score last week wasn't the best, but still has a super low break even. Could end up being somewhat of a keeper in our forward lines. Just a little bit worried. Actually, no, he's fine. Yeah, go Murphy Reed. They got a good run coming up. West Coast and Richmond in the next 4 games. So yeah, if you've got the money, Mark, and you want a bit of a pod difference, I think a few of these players, and we're saved a bit by best 18, but if you look at my team at the moment, I'm going to have like a Todd Marshall, hopefully back from injury next week, like on field, whereas you'll have the likes of Murphy Reed and stuff. And I think those with Rochelle and a Murphy Reed, for example, aren't going to be as hurt by the Petrarca out like a few of the other teams are going to be. So, yeah, I think it's going to work out nice for you. Adams, remember the old days, early 2000s and 90s, Essendon versus North? Yeah, definitely did. Before drug scandals and Wayne Carey scandals and all sorts just ruining both teams, I think, and kind of not being the powerhouses that we once were. Does Young come back in and Sherry go out? I personally, I'm waiting till this week to see what's up. But Sherry, for me, looks really good and offers something that maybe they don't have already. I think there was points in time that he was playing wing. He was running around on the ground and just being fantastic. Young's playing a bit more forward/mid, whereas he's playing a bit more wing. I don't think it's a like for like, to be honest. Murdoch, I would say Schoenberg is the one that potentially goes out. Who does Hewitt come in for? I'm not sure who Hewitt comes in for, but I do think Lindsay will hold. I think that's a thing. I think they're cycling through a few of their backliners to figure out what's up. Baker's obviously the guy, and I think Lindsay will be in it. Maybe a Ryan Marich, maybe not. So, yeah. There you go. Houston or Ash?
Is Lindsay in?
Yeah, Lindsay's playing.
Hey, woo-hoo!
Yeah, it's great. He's not on the bubble, but he's at least playing. Houston or Ash allows me to go Parish to Bont or Holmes, depending on who I choose. Ash, it's a keep Pex in max. It's a question for yourself. Ash is the proven scorer. Houston, we hope, is going to be there. But yeah, I don't mind going. I've gone Houston, but I think Ash is the safer pick long term. Now, if you want to be crazy, go Dane Zorko. That like Joe. There you go. It's the KO promo.
I've done both. I've done Zorko and Houston. I've done both Zorko and Houston.
Yeah, there you go. Done. It's the KO promo. Hopefully they'll show it at halftime. Yeah, I'll just link it to us and we'll show it later. Cook looked great. McAndrew looked Cook. Oh, mate. Hope McAndrew stays around a bit longer. Compare McAndrew to Neil's scores. Make it make sense. Yeah. It's bonkers. There you go. Trades. How you going, Hippo? Hippo's changed his profile. Now he's got a dog, but I think the dog's been there for a while, Joe.
Yeah.
My trades this week is hopefully it loads. That'd be great. Thank you, please. Bloody super coach. Must have been a late out and everyone's scrambling. Always does this. Hopefully there's no late outs. No, doesn't look like it. My trades this week, Rosie, Petrarca, Buderick out for Houston, Cook, and Cherry this week. So trying to load up on a few more big boys, guys with high ceilings. Houston is the most speculative pick I've got at the moment, but he's in the team. There you go.
I'm just filling up some. I'm filling up some fuel. I'll be back.
That's all good, Joe. Is Rochelle a trade target for next week? Also, thoughts on Rankin in a few weeks. He's copped a tag last night. Look, the likes of Rankin, I think Rochelle will be okay. He's probably going to be around the mark, potentially similar to Murphy Reed. The thing with the Rankin, though, is because he's a bit more expensive, now he's competing with so many of these guys who are going to get DPP in our forward line. Horn Francis, for example. Took Miller's on there. Chad Warner's on there. If you watch my DPP video for during the week, there's a couple of others who are in there as well. And I just think that there's going to be too many that, that might push him out. So I'm holding off on Rankin. As you say, he got tagged. Maybe he'll be a bit more expensive, but we'll see. Sherry now preferred over Nod. Yeah, there you go. Clary trade, mate. I try not to think about it too much. It's not great. It is not great. And let's check out who's named on field and whatnot. Then Houston, Howe. So there's some speculation that Howe may play forward, but it looks like he's lining up at half back. So does that affect Houston? Potentially. We'll see. Starting to feel, I really need to see if I can finagle 120K, but I don't think I can this week, so I'm a little bit worried. Starting to feel like Hayden Young is going to play a month and then keep getting injured. Yeah. The issue for me is that Hayden Young is he's just done it to the opposite leg too. So he's injured his left leg the whole time and then finally got that one right. Now he's done it to his right leg. So he doesn't even have one good leg to stand on. He's got no good legs. They're pushing him around in the wheelchair on field. Like it's a rough time for him at the moment. Should I field Nick Dacos and go Neil? Hippo with the questions today. Tell you what. Look, a lot of people are going to have Dacos. Not a lot of people are going to have Neil. What's Neil's break even? 115. What's Nick Dacos? So he's 573. Dacos is 628. Dacos 119. Look, it could be a masterstroke. It could be the worst trade you've done in a while. I don't know how you're going to feel if Nick Dacos goes 150 today and you don't have him. That would be my only worry, Hippo. I personally, at the start of the season, want to try and lock in as many guys who I know are guaranteed to be top 4 as I can. So then I can just figure out the rest. I'm not necessarily sure that Nick Dacos is going to be that player. And as I'm not going to say, as question says here, go Nick Dacos. Winhager's going to clamp Neil. So he might cop the tag this week. That might be a thing. Hey, Philip. How you going, mate? Phil. I have Jackson, English, and McAndrew. So you leave Sherry and keep my Houston trade. Look, my only thing with this is not saying told you so for picking English and Jackson already, but it's really hard to leave on the bench someone who's scoring you 70, 80s, and 90s. If it's in the 70 range, yes, this week he only scored 68, but he did score 92 fantasy, and if he scored another 90, we wouldn't be having this conversation. It's really hard to put that caliber of player on the bench. So what you'd have to do is really be settled in your team and be like, okay, I'm fine everywhere else on field. He's going to be a fantastic cash gen. I can get all 3 of them this week because English has got the bye. So that's something for you. But you really have to be, I'm locked in for this because McAndrew could be averaging 80s on your bench. And it's just like, I wish I could have put that money somewhere else. So that would be the personal question you have to have with yourself, being like, cool, this is what's going to happen. But we'll see. Ethan's saying here, I think Houston will be freed up to score well with more back in. Is Howe playing forward? Jeremy Howe is named half back, Joe. Does that affect your Houston ideas or not?
The only thing affecting my ideas is this is ridiculous. This pricing, $90. I just spent $90, and my tank was halfway. $90.
Oi,
This
that's rough.
government and this government can get fecked. Unbelievable. How could you not have been prepared for what is the most obvious global bloody news and possible conflict in that region of the world? How could you not be prepared? This is ridiculous. So, no, I'm not going to make any last-minute adjustments to my premiums in defense. He has a low break-even. If he's no good, then I'll flip him to Nas, hopefully, who gets cheaper.
In like 3 weeks. 3 weeks or something.
In like 3 weeks, exactly.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's where I'm at the moment.
Okay, fair enough. There you go. Joe ain't here again. Oh, no, I get Joe back. Sorry, there you go. Joe's back. Where's the go? Hippo, yeah, don't fall for it. Go Nick Dacos. Almost want the potty. Everyone has the same team. Got to go Nick. There you go. Maybe a different pod for Hips. I think the extra 8 to 10 points Dacos will score on you will be important. Supercoach got to convert the weekly prize. Joe, Supercoach got to convert the weekly prize to petrol. What do you reckon?
Yes, please. Yes, please. That would be much obliged. I'd love to get Nick Dacos this week, but if I get Nick Dacos this week, then I can't get Bot next week. That's the only difficulty. I can get Nick. Nick's break even is not that low. You know, no. I think Nick's break even is still around 118 or something like that. Whereas the Bond, I think Bond's break even is 108, and he'll probably score 180 against my shit mob.
He might score 108 in the first half.
Probably. I know that will be the margin come halftime, or it will be 108. So I can't see a world where Bond would score poorly against my boys.
Yeah, nah, fair. Fair. Feel you, Joe. Yeah, I'm just lucky I got a little tiny car, so I think it's only like 35 litres tank, but still not great. How long are we thinking of holding Parrish? Joe, Parrish.
1 week.
Yeah, 33 break even. We'll get you to 350k. Look, Ethan, I think if Murdoch didn't get injured, cool. But if you're setting yourself up for Parrish downgrade with Watkins this week, I wouldn't say no to that trade, to be honest. If you had 100k more to go Parrish up to a Dan Houston or something, I think that would be great. Or Hexerism says here, Parrish straight to Bont next week, potentially.
Yep.
So, yeah, it is a bit of a rough time at the moment, but you got to do what you got to do, unfortunately. Big J versus Medium J, Hell in a Cell match at WrestleMania. Who would win, Joe? Me versus you in wrestling?
I'm a lover, not a fighter. I'll draft our wills beforehand, just in case, God forbid, something bad happens, and then and then when you kill me, at least it all goes to my parents and my brother, so I'll be fine.
Okay, fair enough. So Big J's gonna win.
Yes, for sure. You're Big J for a reason, mate. You're Big J for a reason. There's only one Big J.
That's true. Where is the DPP thing? Supercoach, I want the news. Give me all the news, bro. I hate how they've done this because I can't see like the next articles. Here we go. That's what I need. I'm just going to bookmark this, and then I've got it forever. If we check down here for Jackson, we've got will Jackson get forward DPP? Phil, you should have watched my video, mate. I put out a video this week just talking about it. If you guys have Code Sports, you can go and have a look. In the table here, you can just type in Jackson. Luke Jackson currently settled for 69% ruck, 17% mid, 15% forward. So unless something drastically changes, yeah, it is really tough for him to get DPP. Really, really tough for him to get DPP. Yeah, it is tough. Joe, how do you feel about Farrow coming in? Okay, we'll check him out later when Joe comes back. I think he's just got home. People should go Parish to Bont. Shouldn't people go up? You can go up or go down depending on what your mix looks like. If I had like everyone playing here and Murdoch wasn't, Murdoch wasn't injured, for example, I might have the person to go down from Parish. And if the guy's only averaging like, what's Parish's average now? An 80. Like, go Parish to Watkins and you'll make a lot more money than Parish going up if you can put the money somewhere else. So, yeah, it's much for a muchness there. What do you think about Windsor to Houston? I like it. I think that's going to be a great selection. If you got 100 and what? How much is Windsor? If you had 150K, I think you could do very well by doing that. Could Cornelio be a forward keeper when he gets DPP? Well, currently, Cornelio, I can spell, Stephen Cornelio is averaging 94. So there's definitely a world where he gets, like, he should get forward DPP. Have a look. No, that's not right. Oh, fair enough. Playing 47% mid, 52% forward. So he's basically guaranteed to get forward DPP at this point, considering he has next week off. He would have to spend like 95+% mid to get DPP right now. Like, he just can't. To not get DPP. Oh, it's a big J head. There you go. I think, yeah, there's a world where he could be a keeper. If you don't have him, are you considering bringing him in? I would probably say no. How tall are you, Big J? I think I'm like 188 centimeters. So not that tall, but tall enough. I'm more out. I got a big frame. Put on weight and muscle very easily and don't drop it very easily. I do like 10 push-ups and yeah, it's pretty good. Why? Hey, going widescreen TV. There you go. Would you go Dacos this week and try and get Naz and Ash in a couple of weeks, or go Naz and Ash? Look, the way that I look at it is probably don't fade Bont if you can, but it's your team. Go the guys that have the biggest ceiling, hence why I think Bont is going to be great, because his run after the bye is almost as good as his run before the bye, and we know how well he's done. I would go the players who are going to give you points from now on. So Nick Dacos doesn't have a bye next week. Naz is still going to drop in price. Ash may go up a little bit, but Naz's break-even is still fairly high, I believe, unless he does magic like this week. Still a 127 break even, so could lose a little bit of cash and then you'll have the buy. So there's no world where you could pay me. I mean, if you pay me, okay, right? But there's no world where if you paid me, I would go Naz this week. We might get him at 570K. He might stick around that for a while. We don't know what GWS is going to do. I think they played GWS. No, it's Collingwood. Who do they play? Brisbane. Yeah. He could get punished by Brisbane. Berry could go to Naz, and then that's Bob's your uncle. So there's a world where I have him, okay, but I'm not going to get them before the bye, and it might take me a couple of weeks after. So Nick Dacos this week, I think, is great for the price. I think he's still got a high enough potential, and tonight it's going to be fun watching him hopefully drop a 150. And it's these insanely high ceiling players. That's why I started Sinclair. who just look fantastic. And that's why I brought in Cherry this week, because we know the 150s are gettable. We know the 160s are gettable on a good run from these kind of players. Kind of sucks Lukey J won't get DPP. Feels like that was the main reason I wanted him. Well, that's the question, isn't it? And you kind of chuck English in there a little bit as well. It's just the fact that the coach is moving them around so much, man. Like, he one of the things that put me off the pick was the fact that he was lining up in the centre bounce. Now, it's great for him because he's going to get the scoring, but not so much DPP-wise for us, because then we just miss out, like, main position ruck, and then the other two positions are split 50-50. It just doesn't work, buddy. I think he can go big with the big boys. I don't know how it's going to work if he's number 2 ruck, though. And it feels like currently Darcy is not number 2 ruck. Darcy is number 2 ruck. Jackson isn't. But that could change if they just put in game time into Jackson and like a forward gets injured. Then, hey, how you going? Have to miss out on Cherry, then keep Houston. Trades I don't have the McAndrew. Look, it is personal preference, 100%. I don't want Cherry to go 300 this week and you be mad at me. But smart Supercoach player brain says don't put 80s and potential 90s on your bench if you can avoid it. I started with Cogs over Parrish and Young. There you go. Nice work. My concern is I go Dacos this week, won't be able to afford Bont next week. Well, don't go Dacos then. Don't do it. But I think Bont's a must-have. So don't go Dacos. Like, pick someone else. It's fine. That's it. No worries. Alex. How you going, Alex? Any disposal goal prediction for tonight's game? I don't like to bet, but let's do a cheeky, hey, how you doing? How have they done it? Is it easier this way? Okay, it's exactly the same this way. There you go. Well, it's Oscar Steen versus Kieran Briggs. So oh, man. Oh, it's going to be a rough game. Look, Nick Dacos, 35, hopefully. Membry to kick 3, and Hogan with the match winner, I reckon. That's going to be it. Fonty for 111, Elijah says here. I'm trying not to talk about Clayton Oliver, but I think it could be a nasty one. Battle of the Titans in the ruck. There you go. Jake Riccardi, 104. Guys, if you put your predictions in the chat, I'm happy to post them up for the game too. Hannaford's in, so we should see a bit from him. What's he priced at? Let's have a look. Oliver Hannaford, another DPP gun. And the beautiful thing about him is that he plays round 3, has the week off, and then I think it's 4, so round 5. So round 6, once like a Carroll or potentially a Tanner Bruin, even if he doesn't make us enough money over the next 3 weeks, could be a good downgrade option if Hannaford does well. We'll see. Same with Taylor Byrne from Carlton over the next couple of weeks. But Carlton's obviously already had their bye. Who does Perryman go to tonight? Let's have a look. Where's Perryman? Perryman's there. GWS always has a really weird forward line where they've got kind of like 2 must-haves, and now Riccardi's come in there, and then they just fill it up with these smaller players, and you just can't stop them. It's like really tall players and then really tiny, short players. It kind of just doesn't work. Yeah, I think he'll go to their best mid, probably Riccardi, I think. Pretty set fet base. Tatum's here saying 150 Dacos, Whitfield 130, Ash 80. Could look, if that happened, I would be very, very happy. Nick Dacos 160 tonight. Perryman tag Clary or Callahan. If Clary got tagged, man, I'd be so happy. I don't know if you can tag Clary, to be honest. Jamie Ellett will kick 4 or 5. Canelio for 122. There you go. There you go. Get me in with your last questions, guys. The game starts at in about 40 minutes or so. So 7:40. Keep it coming with your questions. I'm hoping to be out of here by about 10 past 7. I'm not sure if Joe will do a live stream tonight. I think he's pretty tired. But if you post enough in the chat, he will most likely do it for you. Cheese, are you asking me to predict the score of the week? Or what? Let me know. Write some more words. Dersma or Watkins? Look, I think for the fact, Elijah, that Watkins is so much cheaper. Like, Watkins plays West Coast and Richmond back-to-back, which makes me really sad that I don't have him this week. But it's happened, right? Back-to-back, 2 easy games. Has already scored the 74. Yes, the 45 wasn't great, but that was his first game ever of AFL. The 74 plays West Coast, Richmond. You'd hope them to be easy games. I think that level of scoring negates like the potential for him to jump in price is compounded by the fact that he is 100K cheaper than Dersma. So I think in my heart, I say go Watkins. I am not going to upgrade into someone that is 200K and then in 100K price, get rid of him. I would rather have Watkins make 150 to 200, which I think is very doable, than have Dersma be there and be like, okay, well, I've made you 100K, but you've spent 2 trades to bring me in. So potentially I'm actually backwards. Yeah. Like if you had Parrish and went to Dersma, okay, you've made a little bit of money on the trade. It's not as bad. But yeah, I think Watkins just at that bargain basement price. I mean, we've seen Sherry do the same thing at that price. Murdoch do the same thing, barring injury, of course. When he comes back, it's going to be fantastic. Myers do the same thing as well. Like these 99K guys, man, it's rough. It is very rough. Guess on what par will be this week. Look, I always said, and we said it yesterday with MJ, right? Every week, for the first 5 or so weeks, if you can make 2,200 in a regular week because we've got 22 scores on field, fantastic. That obviously goes up later on when we have more primos on field and stuff like that. But during the bye rounds, if you're scoring 1,800s plus, I think you're doing very, very well. I mean, I look at my prediction, and I've got Cherry as flex, and I don't have 1,800 this week. Like, it could be another crappy week for me this week. The team is set, ready to go. I bounce up later. It is just what it is, right? I've seen predictions of 200 to 300 points higher than me, and I don't know how it's going to work out. Like, I simply don't know how they're doing it, but yeah, it's just how it's going. Maybe they don't have as much money in the bank. I basically have a primo in the bank. Potentially that's the big difference, but yeah, it is not great. And we have, oh, no, that's not right. There he is. Big man Joe. How's it going, everybody?
Very good. Very good.
Now,
just got home.
Question is, Joe, are you going to stream the game tonight? That's the question.
Are there enough people who want that to happen?
Yeah. Guys, let us know in the comments. If Joe streams the game tonight, are you guys going to watch it? Let us know.
Obviously, a lot. I was very keen to do last week's one between the Dogs and the Crom. That was a very exciting game.
It should be pretty tough this game too. Giants versus Pies. Like, it's not the Brisbane game, but it's still decent. You would think.
You know, I think the Pies are pretty comfortable. I'm
going to be
comfortable tipping the Pies.
My prediction is 18. Well, mate, if that's your prediction, then you're going to jump higher than me this week. There you go. Tatum saying pass for me. Fair enough. Fair enough. How's your team going, Joe? Do you want to throw up the team?
Yeah, let me just show it real quick.
I'm thinking maybe with another 10 minutes left, and then I'm cooked. So
yeah, well done.
Been streaming for a while. Now, guys, if you want to fund Joe's petrol prices, no, I'm just kidding.
I know, right? So I've gone with Track, Carol and Rosie out for Cook, Houston, and Zorko. I went with Carol out at the time.
You got already, yeah?
No, I actually didn't have Watkins. I had to get someone. Because at the time Sharp was named, and what's his face? Brad the Essendon terrorist said that Sharp was going to play. So I kept Sharp, who I thought was likely to make more money than a Carroll moving forward. So that's sort of crap. Of course, now though that's not what's happened. And Cook has played, so now Cook can't move anywhere, and Cook is stuck in that forward line. So now I can't sort of make that correction. But can't complain. That's it. It's happened. At least I got Cook. He scored an 80. Very happy with that. And he did well. And he should hold his spot in the side, so I'm not too disappointed about that. And I'm really happy with the back line as it currently stands. I reckon I've got 4 top 6 defenders. Houston, if he continues to play that role as the distributor, what MJ said, then I'm pretty happy with the return on the investment. And then I'll be happy to field, either a Blamires or someone here in D6 for a period of time, waiting for maybe what's his face, like a desire to get really cheap. But look, if Houston spuds it up, so be it. One among many. His break-even's only 23. If he is crap, then it's not like I'm losing any money. And if he does well, then I'm getting a good return on the investment. So either way, it should be fine. And then I can really just be focusing my efforts on bringing in the primo mids. Because that's what I want. Because I feel like the defender premiums tend to hold their price a bit more steadily than the primo mids. The primo defenders, you just know what their role is every week. And they have kick-ins to give them a decent floor all the time. So I just thought, let me just load up the back line, not have to worry about it. The forward line, I don't have to worry about trading in any primos until a bit later on because I want Petrarca when he comes back. There's plenty of players to trade in due course, and I'm pretty happy fielding, Robertson. I'm pretty happy fielding Marshall when he's obviously back from his injury. Should be a 1 weeker. Cook is doing all right. So the forward line seems to be okay. The ruck line is finished. The back line's mostly finished. And then I can just focus my trades every week on getting the primo mids when they reach a juicy price and just picking them off one at a time. So, yeah, that's sort of what the strategy is. At the moment, I've got 3 primo mids, which is a little light on. But then next week, I should have a 4th in the bond. And then every week, just trying to, obviously keeping an eye on Hugh McCluggage, who I want to bring into my team in a few weeks' time also. So that's sort of what it is. I've just loaded up in the rucks because I'm pretty happy with these 2 rucks at the moment. I've loaded up the back line because I'm pretty content with those back line players. And then that's it. All cash into the midfield. And that's basically how my season's going to go. So we'll see. We'll see how that strategy works for me. Nice. Sherry VC for sure against my boys. And Butters as the captain. Exactly. And I was going to loop whoever was playing in the midfield. But yeah, with Sharp out, everyone's playing in my
I think you have midfield. One more than me. Yeah, you got Lindsay's that's playing. So
everyone's playing in defense. Everyone's playing in the midfield. Zane unfortunately got dropped, but McAndrew is basically a ruckman. So I've had full ruck, and I'm literally missing only 1 player on the field, which is Marshall, as the late out. Otherwise, every single player on my field has played this week, which is pretty good.
Looks good, man.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes. That's one boost down. Ideally, we don't use another one, but I have gone with Houston as opposed to another primo of a genuine bona fide price, just so that I can have funds enough in the bank to offload to get a bond by trading out Parrish and Lindsay, or maybe even a Bruin type, whoever it is, to get the bond. That's going to be the most important thing for me. Next.
Tom's saying here, update the Carroll trade and trade out Sharp instead, Joe. Then you'll have another player playing.
How do I do that, though?
You just go back
already
to trades.
locked in.
Yeah, you just go back to trades. Like, you can do undo trades. Yeah, and then you should be able to press update trade, maybe. Yeah, that one. Yep.
Do I want to do that, though?
Well, you get another week's worth of price rise out of Carroll. He's only got a negative 11 break even. Probably a good plan. Yeah. Nice work there, Tom.
Cheers, Tom. It's still 3 trades.
Hey, now you can loop. Now you can loop a player with Carroll.
When does Carroll play? Carroll plays Saturday night.
Yeah, just put Anderson on field and then loop somebody.
That would
if
be...
Lindsay doesn't score well or something, or Grill. I'd probably loop him with Grill. Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go. Tom, saving the day, mate. Nice work.
Thanks, Tom. It would just really suck if Carroll gets dropped next week and Sharp comes back in.
Yeah, but how much Sharp going to make in terms of money?
He can very easily re-kickstart that cash gen. If the midfield continues to spud it up, there's no way that Brad can keep the midfield as is. He will have to, because Parrish isn't giving us anything defensively. He is all in offense. So if Parrish continues to do that and we continue to get killed out of the midfield, we're going to have to change the mix-up. And if Sharp plays more on ball as a result, he will be bloody amazing. Whereas Carroll, what's Carroll's role? Realistically, it's a bit of a nothing. It's a bit of a nothing role, isn't it? What he does?
Doesn't he play backline?
Yeah, backline into wing type of thing. Like I don't know. It's weird type of role. See you, Tatum. Have a good night, my friend.
Catch your Tatums.
Second, the backline's a great move. That's what I'm doing first because we trust the rookie score better than the midfield and forward line. There we go. Fair discussion. Yeah, I know. It's an interesting one because we know Carroll plays this week, and he will make money.
Yeah.
Just for this week. The question is, in the long run, though, who will make more money?
I think. To be honest, I've got Sharp, but I'm even considering getting rid of him next week, depending on how Watkins goes. I think Carroll has a better chance to come straight in back after his bye. I'm not sure if Sharp. What if his ankle is more than 1 week? Then it's like, well, that was a good trade, you know.
He would have if his ankle was a serious one. He wouldn't have been named this week. Who are they trying to fool?
I mean, it is Essendon.
True. I like that you kept Lombard. I think we'll get more ball with the track out. Fingers crossed, Elijah. Fingers crossed. That's the hope.
Yeah, I don't know about Lombard. I reckon he gets dropped. To be honest, I think Lombard could be gone. After a while, I think he could definitely be gone.
Yeah, Horn Francis should definitely score well. Obviously, there's no Rosie. And Horn Francis did get more centre bounces. You could tell they were playing him more forward just so that he could work his engine, get the runs into the legs.
After all those North Melbourne comments too, yeah, like you can't really not have him playing in the position.
Do you think it's worth trading Philippou to Scary next week to upgrade Cogs, so as the buyer, to Bond, or keep Cogs, as you will get DPP forward status, and trade Windsor to Bond.
I would 1,000% trade Windsor. I think our forward lines are fairly depleted at the moment with only Sheasel and then potentially Flanders as a keeper. I'm not certain the way he's been playing. I think it's good to get rid of Windsor, who I'm not even convinced is going to be making us much more money. Whereas Cogs, 94 average at the moment, only scored, a 60 odd in his second week against the Dogs. I think he's a much better player and looks just better.
Yeah, I agree. Would you loop Grill over Carroll? Well, Carroll plays first. I'm confident. I'm confident in Jagger, and I'm confident in Blamires. So these guys, more than happy to have them on the field. So really, the question is Grill versus Carroll. If Carroll gives me 50 plus, I'll just take it. I think. Actually, nah, I'll be greedy this week. If Carroll gives me 60 plus, I'll take it.
70.
If
200
fine.
plus.
100 plus. I love it. Now if Carroll gives me 60, I'll take the 60. If he doesn't, if he goes 59, bad luck. We'll put Grill on for Anderson.
Oh, Joe.
Should I be worried about only 19 on field?
I think I've only got 19. Jakes is out. Jakes and English are out, and Dyson Sharp's out. So I have 20 out. Yeah, there's quite a few people out this week, Joe. Some people maybe don't have the best rookies, or a few more Dogs rookies or Dogs players. I would have been 19 if I didn't get rid of Buderick this week for Cook. So there's a few people with 18 and 19s.
You got 21 this week. 21. And that's 9 plus 10. Hey, Woody, good to see you, mate. Likely. You're a millennial when you know that, I suppose. What's 9 plus 10? 21. You stupid.
21.
Who likely to pop after his rest week, just needs a break. We'll look for other options.
He's not been looking great. Like, really, he's not been looking great.
May as well be ready with the lube because more than likely. Yeah, exactly right. 100%. Not gonna. He understands MDLM9. Understands. He's all over it. So yeah, excellent. Tanner Bruin didn't go well last night. Would you trade him before Windsor?
No. I think Bruin should be okay next week. You hope he comes back. Maybe he's got the Batman going on. But he's dropped 2 basically 100s and then got punched in the face and was off the ground for half the game. Like, yeah, I think they moved him forward a little bit as well. So I think he'll be fine.
He's making 38K this week, which is pretty nice.
Like, take away the injury, and he was on. What was he scoring at halftime? Like quarter time, Joe. Just pull up the times. Yeah, so first quarter, he's on track for 100 really easily, and then he got like punched in the face in the second. Like, yeah, the guy was fine.
Yeah, he didn't get a touch in the last quarter though.
Yeah, but that's because he got punched in the face. Like.
But I thought that was in quarter 2.
Yeah, and he's still recovering from being smashed in the face.
Well, he scored 18 in quarter 3. He's recovered.
He's not recovered enough.
100%. That was the thing. He got caught on the bench. Correct. That's what happened. And he also couldn't register a touch when he got back on the field. I'm not altogether disappointed because his break even is still quite low.
It still should be negative 2 after this
week. 47. His break even was negative 42, I think it was, wasn't it? This week?
Relatively
Summary. High. So his break even was negative 42. And then he scored 47, was it?
Yep.
So his new break even becomes 24 against the Hawks.
Still good.
You know, so he's still, if he scores 83, he makes another 25K there. So that's, you're looking at over 60K in the next 2 weeks. And ultimately, he's scoring you better than what a rookie would in scoring you a 91, a 110. You know, this is much better than what most rookies will score for you. So happy to just ride him until he looks to be cooked, and then we offload him. He was never going to be a keeper anyway.
What do you mean, Joe? He's Primo Tanner Braun.
He's not Zach Reed, mate. I have Selwood, Jacques, Sarong, ZZ, Marshall, Lombard, Roses. Roses. Yeah. Yeah, okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Thoughts on Myers? He's a gun. I love Myers. I was considering him also. And I've said it in previous streams, Alex. I don't know if you've been here to watch this to hear it, but I can see him certainly being in my team to finish off the season. I think he needs to be in my 6. His run home is too juicy, and he just runs all day. Brian Myers, he's a workhorse, but he's also a smart workhorse. In wins, he pops off for sure. And their run home is so piss weak. They're going to win every game. Thoughts on thanks for insight. Anytime. Supercoach 2026. Look at that. We're giving insight to Supercoach.
Yeah, man. Al Patton should pay us some money.
Goes towards my fuel, maybe, perhaps. But yes, that's what I've done this week. Hopefully it works. Come next week, just the 2 out get replaced with those 2, which is not too bad. Got a full team in the midfield, basically. Got the full rucks, and these 2 are replaced with these 2. So, yeah, still pretty set for full teams. That's the reason why I set my team up this way, so that I could navigate the early buys without necessarily copying it. Would have been ideal, though, if I had started the Bont instead of a Noah Anderson. That obviously would have been the best setup for these early buys, whilst also getting much greater scoring. But of course, hindsight is 2020, and I'm not betting myself up over that at all in the slightest. I think Anderson could or should hopefully come good now with Petrarca out, Raul extended out. Should mean Noah has to pull the finger out and really get to work in that midfield.
Yeah, that's it.
Am I going to jump back on for the match? Look, it seems that there's no interest in a live watch along for this game, Woody. So I think I'll just call it a night and hope to maybe. What's next week's game? What are we looking at next week? Round 4, Friday night, Good Friday, North and Carlton. That would be an interesting one. That would be a very interesting one. North and Carlton. Wow. Especially if North come off a win, they're up and about. Have you bridged the gap between you two? That would be really intriguing to see. But that's in the afternoon. If it's going to be a Friday night stream, that will be a beautiful one. Adelaide v Dockers.
Yeah.
That's also a really good game. Adelaide v the Dockers. Some intriguing matchups next week. Brisbane North, Richmond v Port at the MCG. Port got a few injuries now. Now, unfortunately, Richmond do too, which sucks. Wish it was a full-strength Richmond team. That would have been intriguing. Yeah. Optus.
Jordan Sweet's going to say, hey, how you going?
Correct. Melbourne v Suns. Yeah, Suns will win that comfortably. Oh. You're really putting a Sunday. I thought, bro, the crucifixion happens on Friday, not Sunday. Why are the Dogs playing the Bombers on Sunday? It's supposed to. That's when Bont arises as Jesus and just rises and just dominates us. It's going to be bad, man. That's going to be really bad. And then Hawthorn v Geelong, always a classic on the Monday. So yeah, some pretty good matchups next week. G'day, gents. G'day, Jack. 800K in the bank to get 2 big upgrades this week. Dacos VC tonight hopefully goes big.
Good there you call. Go. There you go.
John McDonald, nice intro. Thank you, John.
Thanks, mate. I think I'm done, John.
You're gonna hear it as you're gonna hear it as an outro now because yeah, we are done. So thank you guys so much for watching. Apologies as usual for my late appearances. I do work far away and I do have lots of responsibilities and obviously do my best where possible. Thank you, Big J. You are the rock, the anchor of this platform. You're a superstar, mate.
No worries, guys. Team reviews coming out Sundays. Should be great. Normal live stream Monday. Members live stream on Tuesday. Trade-in targets, whatever, coming Wednesdays as well and Tuesdays. And yeah, lots of content coming out. It is only round 3. Big chain of advice, as I said with MJ yesterday, is just shore up your rookies. Make sure you've got the cash gen. It is a long season, but if you can grab some of these guys who you're thinking are going to be keepers at the start of the season, it makes it a lot easier later on, as opposed to myself, which is going to be scraping the barrel to get Zorko and these guys at probably 50K more expensive. But we take it as it comes and things like that. Everyone's playing a little bit different, and we'll go from there, really.
I love it. Different teams, different pathways. It looked like everyone's going to have the same cookie cutter team, but with all the carnage that has unfolded so far this year, it is giving everyone has opened up. It can be daunting. It can be daunting because you sort of don't have that safety in numbers where you can just simply copy everybody else. But it just means that you have an opportunity to blaze your own path. There's no right or wrong answers, really. It's all just about personal preference. And you know what could have been a bad selection, for example, with Cogs, all of a sudden might end up being, hey, it's not actually that bad. They've got injuries, they've got a decent run, and he's going to get DPP. So, yeah, just go your own way. Go
all right, guys.
your own way.
Catch you in the next one. Have a good day.
Bye.